So let me give you a real life tough situation and the power and problems with data integration and all this good stuff. So as I said, my team was responsible for all the HR reporting. So when I was doing my roundtables, now I made it my business to do a weekly one-on-one with each of my directs, and then every other month touch base with even my first line data analysts at the sites. And I remember sitting in a roundtable with them in Florida, and I said, it seems like some of these reports take a while, especially some of the candidacy slate reports. What's going on there? Why? Because, so City used Taleo as its recruiting software. So that's what back then, now it's Workday because we did convert to Workday. But back then it was Taleo. And so you had the applicant, the self-disclosure. We had already decided anybody who didn't disclose just went into this other category. And I said, why does it take so long to get these reports out? Well, because some business units send those follow-up emails to change some of the data because they said there's something wrong with Taleo. Now, mind you, I had not heard that there were any problems with Taleo. So I went back and I went to IT first. I said, guys, I'm hearing from my guys that there's problems with Taleo. Has anybody is there anything in Jira? Is there anything in ServiceNow where anybody's reporting problems on Taleo? No. I said, all right. So I go back to my guys. Who's sending these notes? So there's a few different business units. Add this candidate, do this, do that. Like,
Hmm.
why is problems with Taleo? Really? Why just check with IT? They say there's no problems with Taleo. Well, my recruiters in XYZ country don't like Taleo, so they don't always enter everything into Taleo. And I said, well, and sometimes the candidate doesn't select this, and so then we do. I was like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. The bank has invested in a system. The data in the system, there's nothing wrong with it. If your recruiters need to be trained or have it be enforced they use the system, then you do that. But on this day, from now on, we're only going to report on what's in Taleo. And as the global reporting team, our report is the one that counts. You don't like the numbers, then you come to me and ask me if something is missing, and we'll look into Taleo. But if it's a training issue, deal with it. If it's a whatever, my favorite email in that whole nightmare, because this turned into a big bureaucratic thing, I had to say to my guys, I'm going to be the bad guy. So the next email you get, tell them that you were told that you no longer could massage data, copy me, and tell them if they had any questions to come to me directly. Because I did not want my guys to get the blowback. They were not getting paid enough for that noise and the bureaucracy at City. So the one that I threatened to go to our CEO with, because there is no shame in my game. I got an email that got forwarded to me with the sorry, but we're not doing that. Was one of the people in one of the groups wanted us to change the candidate slate reporting and change a candidate that was applying for a very senior role as from being white female or undisclosed to Latina because her first name was Maria. I
Wow.
stuff you can't make up, guys. I went back to my guys and I said, listen, I'm not going to be an ass here, but I am going to be an ass because senior leaders, part of their comp, part of their incentive is hitting those diversity candidate slate numbers. And what I said to my guys was, if we're massaging reports like this, and we know that those numbers ultimately have an impact on incentive, that, in my view, is no different than stealing from the teller drawer. We are not in that business. And I will go to Mike Corbat, who was the CEO at the time, and I will ask him what he thinks of this if we get any more pushback. That was probably the toughest situation that I ever dealt with.